In the farthest reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, on a shimmering planet called Xyrix, a group of alien scientists from the Zarnith species gathered around a holographic projection of Earth. These beings, towering with translucent skin that pulsed with light, were deeply curious about human behavior. For centuries, they had observed from afar, marveling at Earth's peculiar life forms and the equally peculiar beings that inhabited it. Today, their focus was on a particular phenomenon that had left them collectively bewildered. The leader of the group, Zarlek, projected a scene captured from Earth. On the hologram, a human was crouched on the ground, gently scratching the head of a massive feline predator known on Earth as a lion. The lion, which could easily maul the human in an instant, appeared docile, its eyes half-closed in sheer bliss. The human, completely unfazed by the beast's lethal potential, spoke in soothing tones. "Who's a good kitty?" "Yes, you are." Zarlek turned to the group, his bioluminescent eyes flickering in disbelief. "Can anyone explain this?" These creatures, humans, seemed to have no regard for their safety. Another alien, Tilnak, raised a tentacle, gesturing toward a different hologram. This one displayed a human approaching a massive, spiked reptilian creature called a crocodile. The human, armed with nothing but a stick, calmly tapped the reptile's snout and muttered, "Easy there, buddy." The crocodile, instead of snapping its jaws, merely blinked and sank back into the water. "They call it petting," Tilnak explained. "Apparently, humans will attempt to bond with nearly anything. It defies logic." The room erupted in a cacophony of blinking lights and hums of astonishment. Zarlek switched the hologram to yet another scene, a human holding a massive tarantula in their palm. The human seemed fascinated, running a finger along the creature's fuzzy back. The spider, by all appearances, remained calm, almost as if it enjoyed the attention. The human whispered, "You're just a little guy, aren't you?" The Zarnith scientists leaned closer, their bodies glowing a deep shade of intrigue. "Even creatures with venom potent enough to kill them," muttered Zarlek, "and yet, humans pet them." Tilnak added, "It gets stranger. Observe this." The hologram now displayed a human on a nature hike, suddenly pausing to scoop up a small, venomous snake. The human inspected the creature with curiosity, giving it a gentle pat before releasing it back into the wild. A collective gasp swept through the room. "Do they lack survival instincts entirely?" one of the younger aliens, Zorol, asked. Zarlek shook his head. "It's more complex than that. From our observations, humans possess an extraordinary desire to connect with other life forms, even at great personal risk. They seem to derive immense satisfaction from these interactions, and in many cases, their touch appears to have a calming effect on the creatures they encounter." Zorol projected a clip of a human standing amidst a herd of elephants. The towering mammals encircled the tiny figure, their trunks reaching out. The human, far from frightened, extended their arms, allowing the elephants to explore. The human laughed, a sound that echoed with genuine joy. "What drives them?" Zarlek wondered aloud. "It is as though they believe their touch carries a universal language." The scientists pondered in silence, their luminous forms flickering rhythmically. Finally, Tilnak spoke again, his tone reverent. "Perhaps they are not reckless. Perhaps they have discovered something we have yet to understand. A kind of harmony, a bridge between species." Zarlek nodded. "It seems their capacity for empathy transcends their fear. They trust the unknown and seek to comfort it." At that moment, a new hologram appeared, showing a human gently cradling a fragile, injured bird. The human's hands moved with utmost care, their face etched with concern. They whispered softly, and though the bird could not understand the words, it nestled into the human's palm. The Zarnith gathered in a circle, their light patterns now synchronized. They had studied countless species across galaxies, but humans had unveiled a new enigma, a profound, almost magical trait. It was as if their ability to bond with life itself, regardless of danger or difference, was a superpower. Zarlek finally broke the silence. "We have much to learn from these humans. They do not merely survive among the creatures of their world. They thrive in communion with them. This is their strength. And so, the Zarnith made a collective decision. They would continue their study, but now they sought not to understand humans in isolation, but to learn from them. Perhaps, they thought, if they could harness the power of connection, their own species might unlock deeper bonds across the cosmos. As the Titan stood guard over the battlefield, its massive form seemed almost tranquil against the backdrop of the smoldering horizon. The girls were not yet ready to leave Vorthis. There was too much to understand, too many secrets buried in the planet's ancient soil. After the initial adrenaline of victory wore off, they returned to the ruins with a renewed sense of purpose. Kara, driven by her insatiable curiosity, began dissecting the Titan's internal systems. What she found was beyond even her wildest expectations. The Titan wasn't just a war machine. It housed an advanced artificial intelligence that had been dormant for centuries. When she interfaced with it, she was greeted by a voice that introduced itself as Prime Sentinel. "Greetings, human. I am the Guardian of Vorthis, created to protect the balance of this world. Your actions have reactivated me, and now our destinies are intertwined." The others gathered around as Kara relayed this discovery. The AI explained that the Titans had not been built merely for war. They were part of an ancient network designed to maintain peace across a vast interstellar civilization. When that civilization fell, the Titans had been left behind as silent sentinels, waiting for a time when they might be needed again. Elise was the first to grasp the implications. If this network still exists, we could be standing at the gateway to something much bigger than ourselves. Prime Sentinel confirmed her suspicions. Indeed, Vorthis is one of many nexus points. Reactivating me has sent a signal across the stars. Others may hear it. Meanwhile, Mika and Terra worked to repair and enhance their ship, preparing for the next stage of their journey. They knew they couldn't stay on Vorthis forever. The Titan might be a formidable guardian, but they were explorers at heart. Jade, ever the dreamer, was already plotting potential routes to other Nexus worlds. The crew's activities didn't go unnoticed. Across the galaxy, factions that had once remained hidden began to stir. The Zyrics, humiliated but not defeated, were the first to react. Their High Council convened in secret, debating how to handle the human threat. Some argued for immediate retaliation. Others saw an opportunity to learn from humanity's ingenuity. In the end, they reached a fragile consensus. They would send emissaries to observe, but with their warships lurking just beyond the horizon. Elsewhere, the signal from Vorthis was intercepted by other civilizations, some friendly, some hostile, and some so alien that their intentions defied understanding. Among these were the mysterious Eldera, an ancient species thought to have vanished eons ago. They recognized the activation signal as a call to arms, but also as a plea for unity. The Eldera began preparing to reveal themselves, hoping to guide the new generation toward a brighter future. Back on Vorthis, Prime Sentinel continued to educate the crew. The AI revealed blueprints for other Titans, each with unique capabilities. One was designed for deep space exploration, another for terraforming hostile environments, and yet another for advanced medical support. Each Titan, if reactivated, could play a vital role in rebuilding the shattered networks of the old civilization. Kara, now more confident than ever in her engineering skills, proposed a bold plan. "We don't just leave this Titan here as a guardian. We replicate its systems, create new Titans suited for the challenges ahead. Imagine what we could achieve with an army of protectors. Not for war, but for peace and exploration." The idea thrilled the crew. They spent weeks gathering resources and building the foundations of a new Titan. With the guidance of Prime Sentinel, they succeeded in crafting a smaller, more agile version of the original. This new Titan, which they named Nova, was equipped with advanced sensors, faster propulsion, and modular tools that could adapt to various missions. When the time came to leave Vorthis, they did so with heavy hearts, but also with a sense of fulfillment. Prime Sentinel stayed behind, its massive form blending into the planet's landscape, ever vigilant. The crew, aboard the Star Whisper, set a course for the nearest Nexus world. Nova accompanied them, a silent but imposing companion, ready to assist in whatever challenges lay ahead. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, their legend grew. They became known as the Vanguard, a symbol of humanity's resilience and ingenuity. Stories spread of the 5 young women who reactivated ancient guardians and faced down the might of an alien fleet. They inspired not only humans but countless other species who heard their tale. The journey was far from over. Each new world brought fresh challenges and discoveries. Some nexus points were teeming with life. Others were desolate and filled with danger. Along the way, they formed alliances with other explorers and defended vulnerable civilizations from those who sought to exploit the ancient technologies for their own gain. The Zyrics, despite their initial hostility, found themselves in an uneasy truce with the Vanguard. Over time, they came to respect the crew's determination and even collaborated on a few missions, though trust remained fragile. The Eldera finally emerged from their long isolation, offering wisdom and guidance to all who sought it. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, the crew of the Star Whisper became a beacon of hope. They weren't just reactivating Titans. They were reigniting the spirit of cooperation and exploration that had once united the galaxy. And as they pressed onward, their journey was a testament to the boundless potential of humanity and the power of unity across the stars. As the Star Whisper cut through the inky void of space, its crew couldn't help but feel the weight of their growing legacy. They had gone from a small team of explorers to key players in a galactic saga that was unfolding with every new world they encountered. The next nexus point was a planet called Zephyros, a world shrouded in perpetual storms. Its surface was a chaotic landscape of jagged cliffs, violent seas, and swirling electrical tempests. According to Prime Sentinel star maps, this planet housed a dormant titan known as Stormbreaker, a machine designed to harness and control atmospheric phenomena. Landing on Zephyros was a test of Mika's unparalleled piloting skills. The ship bucked and swayed under the assault of gale-force winds, but she guided it safely to a rocky outcrop near the Titan's supposed location. The crew wasted no time. Armed with their experience from Vorthas, they set out to find and awaken Stormbreaker. Kara led the charge, her hands trembling with a mix of anticipation and cold as she worked to interface with the Titan. Unlike Prime Sentinel, Stormbreaker was far less cooperative. Its systems were heavily damaged, its AI fragmented and wary. Days turned into weeks as Kara and the others worked tirelessly, braving the planet's relentless storms to piece the Titan back together. During this time, the crew encountered an unexpected ally, the Zephyrians, a native species that had evolved to thrive in the storm-ravaged environment. Tall and lithe, with skin that shimmered like liquid silver, the Zephyrians were both cautious and curious about the newcomers. Through careful communication, Jade managed to establish a fragile bond. The Zephyrians revealed that Stormbreaker was more than a machine to them. It was a deity, a force that had once brought balance to their world before falling silent. Elise saw an opportunity. If we can restore Stormbreaker, we won't just stabilize this planet. We'll gain allies who understand the complexities of these ancient systems better than anyone. Finally, after countless setbacks, Kara succeeded in bringing Stormbreaker online. The Titan emerged from its slumber, towering and fierce, its form crackling with raw energy. The Zephyrians watched in awe as the Titan strode into the storm and began to work. With every step, it absorbed the chaotic energy around it, calming the skies and soothing the raging seas. For the first time in centuries, sunlight broke through the clouds of Zephyros. Stormbreaker's AI, though initially wary, warmed to the crew as it regained its full cognitive functions. It revealed more about the network of Titans and the civilization that had created them. According to Stormbreaker, the Titans were not just guardians. They were also record keepers, holding vast amounts of knowledge about the galaxy's history, technology, and even the mysteries of life itself. This revelation added a new layer to the crew's mission. They were no longer just reactivating ancient weapons. They were unlocking a galactic library each Titan a living archive of the cosmos. But their triumph was short-lived. As the crew prepared to leave Zephyros, an urgent transmission reached them. The Xyrix fleet had returned, but this time, they weren't alone. They had allied with a faction known as the Krell, a ruthless, nomadic species infamous for their merciless conquests. Together, the Xyrix and Krell were targeting another Nexus world, seeking to seize its Titan for their own purposes. The crew had no choice but to intervene. With Stormbreaker now fully operational and Nova at their side, they plotted a course to intercept the enemy forces. Along the way, they were joined by a Zephyrian envoy, a brilliant tactician named Sail, who pledged their people's support in the coming battle. The journey to the next Nexus world, Fedros, was fraught with tension. Fedros was a desert planet, its Titan, Soulforge buried beneath centuries of sand and rock. Time was of the essence. If the Xyrix-Krell coalition reached Soulforge first, they could turn its immense power against the rest of the galaxy. The final confrontation unfolded in the blazing heat of Fedros. The Xyrix and Krell forces had already begun excavating the Titan when the crew arrived. What followed was a battle unlike any they had faced before. The Xyrix brought their tactical precision, while the Krell relied on brute strength and overwhelming numbers. The crew's Titans clashed with enemy war machines in a spectacle of fire and fury. Stormbreaker unleashed its fury, summoning localized storms to batter the enemy, while Nova darted through the battlefield, its agility outmatching the Krell's lumbering behemoths. Mika piloted Nova with surgical precision, taking out key targets and providing cover for Elise and Jade, who coordinated their efforts from the Star Whisperer. But the tide of battle turned when the Xyrix managed to partially awaken Soulforge. The desert shook as the massive Titan began to rise, its molten core glowing like a miniature sun. The crew knew they couldn't face Soulforge head-on without it fully siding with them. It was Kara who made the daring decision to infiltrate the Titan's control center mid-battle. With Sail's help, she slipped past enemy lines and began working to override the Xyrix's control. The heat was unbearable, and every second felt like an eternity. But Kara's determination paid off. She managed to establish a link with Soulforge's AI, convincing it to join their cause. With a deafening roar, Soulforge turned its wrath on the Xyrix and Krell. The desert erupted as the Titan unleashed waves of energy, forcing the enemy forces into a hasty retreat. Victory was theirs, but it had come at a cost. The battlefield was littered with wreckage, and the crew knew that their fight was far from over. As the dust settled, the crew stood together, their bond stronger than ever. They had unlocked yet another piece of the galaxy's forgotten legacy, and in doing so, had forged new alliances and ignited hope across the stars. But the signal had been sent. Other factions, some yet unseen, were now aware of the Titan's awakening. The crew of the Star Whisperer would have to stay one step ahead, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them in the vast and perilous galaxy.